Hey everyone, welcome back to Outside with Ty. Currently inside right now. I know, I'm working on it. Soon to be outside. But today we're going to be going over what I pack with me for a winter backpacking trip. Uh, Obviously, things are going to be a little bit heavier. You're going to be taking more gear with you to stay warm. But this is everything that I take with me currently laid out. Minus snacks, a lot of snacks, but this is what I typically take with me. A lot of this gear is interchangeable. I take it all year round, but some of the stuff, obviously I'm not taking 2 sleeping bags year round, but this is what I prefer. This is what I use. If there's something that I left out, let me know. Leave a comment below. You know how it works. So kind of getting started, I'm going to start with my sleeping setup. So my shelter, my sleeping gear. For my shelter, I use the REI Quarter Dome SL1. This is an awesome ultralight tent. I do use it in the wintertime, even though it is a 3-season tent. It's a smaller tent, so in theory, there's less space inside the tent that I have to heat up to stay warm. It doesn't keep air in very long, but it's not a larger tent, so it's less weight and less room for my body heat to warm up. So I don't know. Maybe theoretically I stay a little bit warmer in it. Who knows? So I use that. I've kind of interchanged the poles. Sometimes I use MSR Groundhog, or not poles, the stakes. I switch those out for MSR Groundhog sometimes. These are just some DAC ultralight or lightweight aluminum ones. I like those a lot. They dig in well. They hold everything down where I want it to. That's all you really need. So that's my shelter. Moving on to my sleep setup, or my sleep system. I use the Nemo insulated tensor pad. It's the mummy style cut, so a little bit lighter than the regular version. But this is great. It has the pump stack with it. I can inflate everything super quickly. I'm not blowing directly into it, so it's not building up moisture on the inside. Really happy with this pad. I've used that for a long time. Haven't had any issues with it. So really enjoy that. That holds air great. No problems. I use a Sea to Summit Arrows pillow. I just have it in a little outdoor research stuff sack, just to kind of keep it safe, a little bit more protected than just being exposed. I actually leave the valve open when I store it, so it lets moisture out, lets it dry out. These are notorious for building up moisture on the inside because you use your mouth to inflate it, and then they go bad pretty quickly. So I like to keep that in this just for that reason. That's super comfortable, a little bit of foam on top. It's the premium edition, so a little bit more comfortable than the ultralight version. Under my Nemo tensor pad, I use this Alps Mountaineering foam mat. This is great at just providing some insulation from the ground and keeping my tensor pad a little bit more protected and safe from anything that might be sharp or rough under the tent. If it gets really cold, I'll take this Reflectix layer. It's just big enough for me to sleep on. So that does actually a really nice job. This under the foam with the tensor on top of it is a awesome cold warmth barrier for me. So that's a good setup. Not taking that on this trip. I probably won't need it. If it comes down to it, maybe I'll regret it, but I think I should be good this weekend. I use a bag system, so this is my go-to bag year round. For like summer and fall. My warm weather bag. It's the Nemo Tensor 30-degree down bag. Sorry, not Tensor. Nemo Disco. Sorry. This is awesome. I picked this up at an REI garage sale. I have loved it ever since. It's light, it's warm. I can use it as a quilt if I want to, unzip it all the way. So that paired with this big Agnes Lost Ranger, they do a great job together. They have really good baffles around the face, and the hoods are fantastic. Same with the foot boxes. A lot of insulation in the foot boxes of both of these. So I stay super warm at the ends, so the extremities. It keeps me nice and toasty. I've camped down to -14 with this exact setup. It was cold, but the only thing cold was my nose. So thankfully I had good gear for that day. But yeah, these two bags paired together do a really great job. Moving on, if you're doing your business in the woods, I prefer dude wipes. Toilet paper, it gets the job done, but there's nothing like a dude wipe. So I definitely prefer that. I do have toilet paper with me just in case I need extra, need extra, the guys with me need extra as well. Kind of moving to more hygiene stuff. This is Sea to Summit Wilderness Wash, so it's very concentrated soap. Does a great job for dishes, washing your hands if they get dirty processing firewood or making the fire or anything like that. Just a good multi-purpose soap to have. Kind of get into the cook setup stuff. I use a Jetboil support stand for my fuel canisters. This is just a GSI fuel canister. You can use any brand of isobutane canisters or fuel. I pair that with the stove on top. I just picked this up actually from REI in the garage sale section. I love the garage sale section at REI. It might be a problem. This is the MSR Pocket Rocket Deluxe. So it has the piezo switch on it compared to the regular Pocket Rocket. It's got a little bit bigger burner on it, so better for my larger GSI pot that I use. It's the Pinnacle Soloist. This is great for boiling large amounts of water for some of these larger mountain house or freeze-dried meals. So I really like that. It's light enough where I don't really notice it a whole lot in the pack. And like I said, it works really well with that larger burner head on the Pocket Rocket Deluxe. So that thing's fantastic. Can't speak highly enough of that. If we're talking like getting a fire going, I have some different processing tools here. Moving this direction, I use these cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly. Anyone can make these. Just grab some cotton balls, roll them in petroleum jelly, put them in some sort of container. You can put them in a baggie. I like this just because it's a little less messy, because it does get messy, but these are great at starting fires. These are just some tinder rolls from a kit that I bought from Zippo. So tinder rolls, like waxy tinder rolls, good for getting a fire started on a wet day. This is the Zippo magnesium or ferro rod. So great. I actually switched to this from a lighter. I still keep a lighter on me. I have a lighter in the Pocket Rocket little system here. But I don't know, something kind of primitive about using that, and it works really well, especially with petroleum jelly balls, I guess. I also use a bellows. So in that kit, that Zippo kit, this is called the bellows. You blow into it at this end, and then it does a really good job of getting oxygen to maybe a barely going ember, or just help get more oxygen to the fire to help it grow and get it moving along. So this is great. Saves your face from getting too close to the fire and getting all that smoke in your face when it gets going more so. So definitely like that system. I keep a Leatherman Wave on me. It's a good multi-tool. Everyone knows this one. It is great for anything and everything. So a little bit heavier. I might sometimes leave it in the truck, but more times than not, I have this on me. You never know when you might need pliers. Scissors are great to have too. So love that. I use a Goal Zero Lighthouse Micro. This is great for hanging around camp. Put it on a branch. I hang it in my tent when I go to bed at night. So this does a great job. It's USB rechargeable, so it works with my charging system that I have. But it's a really great light. Puts out a lot of light around the camp area at night, especially. So that's super, super useful. You probably saw a more recent video of mine. This is the Olight Baton Pro 3. I can't speak highly enough of this. This is super versatile. It's got a magnetic base. It's got a hat clip on it, so if you're walking around at night and you want to go hands-free, you can use it. It's a little bit bigger, but it still works on the hat. Really like that for just looking around camp, or a quick light up of something. This is the Benchmade Bugout. Just good to have on hand, keep in my pockets. Lightweight, I barely know what's there. Good for opening things like mountain house meals or just smaller, finer things around camp. So really like this for backpacking especially. Another video that I made recently was on this. This is the Sven saw. If you're not familiar with it, it is a bow saw design, but it packs up into a super streamlined package. So really this is great for processing wood around camp, especially in the wintertime. You are cutting up a lot of firewood for a fire to keep warm, especially when it gets colder at night. That saves a lot of time and energy instead of hacking away with a hatchet or an axe. That's a lot more efficient. And really anything that fits in the blade, you can cut through or cut down. So that is a great tool to have on hand. When it comes to processing or batoning or doing kind of more fine work, I use this Gerber. This is the new Gerber Strong Arm. So kind of using this a newer kind of debut for this. I usually use a Shure fixed blade knife. That thing's a tank. But I am trying this out. Gonna see how it works. So yeah, stay tuned on that. I'll let you guys know how that goes. I use this. I really like the Adventure Medical kits, first aid kits. They're comprehensive. They have a little bit of everything. This is the backpacker version, and I particularly like the package or the container that it comes in. So this pouch folds open, kind of like a tri-fold version. So it labels everything. So if someone picks this up that isn't familiar with first aid, they can quickly identify what is what, and where they need to grab. So that's really great to have on hand. I always keep that in the top pouch of my backpack, just so it's easy to grab, very accessible. I also like to use a headlamp. So this is the Black Diamond Storm R rechargeable. I believe it's 400 lumens, very bright. I actually really like it for the red mode on it. So in the summertime, especially if it's buggy out, the red light helps to doesn't attract the bugs as easily. So this is nice to have, especially for hands-free. I have my keys here. I have a Toyota Tacoma. Love that. It gets me to and from the trailhead. If we need to go anything more than that, it's great for that as well. More to come on that. We're doing a upcoming trip, overlanding trip. So kind of going to introduce the taco more to the channel and kind of grow with that. So we'll see where that goes. Using some insulated bottles here. So I have a Yeti and a Hydro Flask titanium bottle. This is great for the wintertime. Things freeze obviously overnight, so this will keep my water sources insulated and keep them from freezing overnight. So those are great to have on hand, and they're both pretty lightweight. This one's, especially the titanium, is extra lightweight. It all kind of adds up in the wintertime, especially when you're carrying more gear. So you kind of want to stay on the lower side for some things where you can. Getting into warmth, I have a Jack Wolfskin DNA, I believe it's a Tundra down jacket. It's a 700 fill down jacket. Great for wearing under a shell or just standalone. Usually I have like a Carhartt outer or an Outdoor Research outer shell on me to go over this, but yeah, this does great on its own as well. Just an REI beanie, keep me warm. I'll usually sleep with this at night as well. Sometimes the hoods on these don't need it, but if it gets super cold, I'll wear this at night too. I have a North Face balaclava. So again, good for keeping your face out of the elements, especially on the west side of the state, around Lake Michigan. It gets pretty windy, so that would be kind of nice to keep my face and outer extremities more protected. Around camp, or if we're going hiking, I have a pair of North Face Apex gloves, just kind of like they're a soft shell glove. So good for light use stuff. But if I'm really wanting to stay warm or doing some more work style tasks, then I have these Hestra Army leather Gore-Tex gloves. These are incredible. They're a little pricey, but they're worth the money. I've taken these out west skiing, multiple camping trips in the wintertime. They hold up well, and they do everything that you ask of them. So these are awesome. Base layers, I'll be wearing what I have on most of the trip. It's only a one-night trip, trying to just keep things lighter. So I'll be wearing mostly what I have on, but I'll be taking some extra base layers with me. So I will have on a Helly Hansen upper merino wool layer, and then I have a Smart Wool, the Merino 250 bottoms. These I really like both of those together. And then I use a Smart Wool liner sock under my extra insulated wool socks. This does a good job wicking, and it's nice to slip on at night just to use to wick the sweat a little bit better at night or during the daytime when you're hiking. So that's a great option, especially paired with like I said, a puff or a fluffier wool sock. Sometimes you get a little bored around camp. It's fun to toss the Frisbee around. That's always a good time. There's always something to do around camp though. Hiking, cutting wood, Frisbee, Lastly, I already talked about the mountain houses. I do have this Sea to Summit spoon. It's long handled, so it's great for reaching in the bottom of the bags. I do really like these Keen Revel boots. This is the Polar series. These are super comfortable to hike in. They keep my feet warm, both moving and kind of just if I'm sitting around camp or around the campfire. Usually if you're not moving, your feet will get cold. I have not had that problem yet in these. They are 400 grams of insulation, so it's a good happy medium. They're not overly warm when I'm hiking, but they, like I said, they still keep me warm around the fire and when I'm not moving as much. So really recommend these. Waterproof, insulated, very comfortable, good traction on the bottom, good tread design. Good job, Keen. Finally, I keep all of this in my Osprey Volt 75 pack. I've used this and had this for a long time. This is actually one of my first backpacking bags. I've now kind of made it more my dedicated winter backpacking bag. It's bigger, it holds more than I have an REI Flash 55. Does a great job. The Flash 55 does, but it's not big enough for holding all of this. So this is it. I have plenty of lashing points on the outside, plenty of tie-up spots for some of the exterior, like the foam mat. Does a good job hanging on the outside. But yeah, super comfortable. It fits me well and keeps me comfortable on putting on the miles. So definitely recommend Osprey. Go check them out. Finally, twice. I might take a camp chair with me. I haven't decided yet. So this is the REI Flexlite chair. It's a little bit heavier, a lot more comfortable though than this Crazy Creek chair. Crazy Creek is a lot lighter though. It's right around 1 pound. This is maybe closer to 1 to 2 pounds. So we'll see if I take. I'm definitely going to probably take one of them. We're not going very far, so there's not as much to carry. But I like to stay comfortable. I go ultralight when I can, but this is not an ultralight trip. So I'm going to take one of these. Let me know in the comments below which one you think I should take, which one you use. That about wraps it up. Like I said earlier, if there's something that you think I left out or should add to this, or maybe you think I'm crazy for taking, let me know in the comments below. I've used this and been backpacking and camping now for multiple years, so everyone's system's different. I'm always open to new recommendations though. I love gear, so whatever can keep me comfortable or I can have fun using, I love to check it out. So thanks for watching. Leave a like or subscribe, and yeah, we'll catch you in the next video. Thanks.